Hey everybody, Cheryl here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Cards by Cheryl. Today I'm going to be doing a fun little project. I just love this project. Using the Flowering Cactus stamp set. Not going to use any of the dies really. Oh yes, I will be using one die for it. But I'm going to be using some of the things from this particular set. This is a kit that is available through the January to June mini catalog right now, and it's an amazing kit. I love it, and I do have a class to go offering with this kit. If you're interested, please check out one of the links below. But you get all of these gorgeous papers, you get a bunch of these little felt floral type embellishments, plus the full stamp and die set for $70. And if you buy the kit from me, I will give you all the make and takes for absolutely free. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link below. But back to what we're going to make today. Look at this cute little thing. This is a little treat pouch, and it's like a circle round. It's got a square base, but it's kind of rounded. And in this particular one, because it's close to Easter, I have a Cadbury egg in it. But this particular design can be used for so many fun things. Like, look at this one. Easter blessings. And then this is from the Oval Occasions stamp set and the Oval Punch. And then this little, I didn't have any Easter blessing stamps. So what I did was I just created a document with my Word program, created Easter blessing, repeated it, and then I printed it and cut it out in a strip. And then this is all stamped with the Oval Occasions stamp. So this is the Osa Ombre paper, and this is the Oval Occasion stamps where I did the green florals on here. And then that also is from the Oval Occasion stamps. But look, you can get all of these chocolate eggs in there. And then these cute little clothespins, mini clothespins, are from Michaels. I don't know. Here they are. You get 30 in a pack. They're called Celebrate It clothespins. They're minis. I think these are like $5.99 for a 30 pack. They're really cute. And they come in the natural wood also. I'll try to link those below if I can find them. Let me show you one more. Where did it go? Oh yeah, here. I did this as a mock-up for a family member is getting married, and this is a little party favor that I did for her bridal shower. And this is all done, the design work is all done on a digital file that I created using Word, and I also downloaded some paid artwork from Etsy. But yeah, I just applied basically the same design concepts, and I created my own little party favor with this. And so you could put after dinner mints in here. You could make it a little place tag. Like, instead of putting special treats for someone sweet, you could put their names on here. You know, punch out a blank oval and write their names and put it on here and have it be a place card setting. Lots of fun ideas you can do with this particular little pouch. This one I didn't scallop on the edge. This one I did. And I used, this is a border die that's retired. It's from, I think, the Harvest Blessing set that was in the December catalog. I have to look and see if it's retired or not. If you don't have this set and you don't have a border die or anything like that that could do a scallop, you could just get a what do they call those? Scissors for when you do fabric cutting. They're a jagged edge, or there's all kinds of decorative edge scissors you can get on Amazon. So there's that. So let me show you how I made this. I love these. These are so cute. Okay, so I did a little, if you joined my class to go, you will get your own little packet to create this punch yourself. I pre-prepped a bunch of pieces here so that we could get through this pretty quickly. And so basically what I did was I took a piece of the designer series paper from the kit, from the Flowering Cactus kit, and then I ran my scalloped punch through, or die through the embossing machine to give it that decorative edge. So this piece of paper is 6 inches by 3.5. And then after you run it through the die, it becomes a little bit shorter than 3.5. So that's our core piece. Then you're going to grab your 2-inch circle punch if you have one, or a die will work. But the 2 inches is important. The diameter is important for this one because it matches the width of the paper that we use for this. Then these are just my pieces I'm going to use to decorate with. So let me show you how you score this. And I'm going to bring out normally I would use my paper trimmer to score, but because we're working with the small fraction, I'm going to use my score buddy instead. And so what you're going to do is score. Actually, if you bought the kit, I've pre-scored yours for you, just in case you didn't have a score buddy. So, but if you do have a score buddy and you want to do your own and make more of these, what you're going to do is lay your circle in the corner of your score buddy, and you're going to score at 3/8. And then you're going to turn it all the way around so that the top score line is lined up with this score line, the 5/8 inch score line, so that you know it's straight. And then you're going to score again at 3/8. Then you're going to shift it and then eyeball it to make sure it's pretty straight up and down. Score at 3/8. Turn it again. Line it up, get it straight, and score at 3/8. So what you end up with is a circle with a square scored into it. Okay? So now all you want to do is fold these flaps up on the score line, and then we have to do a little bit of cutting so that everything comes together nice and neatly. So you're going to want to just cut this little triangle. You see the little triangle right there? You're just going to want to cut that out. So snip, snip. My husband's trying to sneak out without making any noise. Okay, doing this. Okay, so now what you have is a shape that looks like this. These are going to fold up, and see how nicely they come together now without butting into each other. Okay, so we're done with that. Now what we're going to do is prepare this with some adhesive. And I like to use the Stampin' Seal. If you have the Stampin' Seal Plus, even better. But the Stampin' Seal is plenty strong enough to hold this down. I wouldn't recommend glue unless you really want to just sit there and hold it for longer than I had the patience for. So you're going to generously make sure you get the entire area. That's why I'm using my silicone mat, because nothing sticks to it. So I've got each of these flaps fully covered with the glue. Now onto this one, we're going to, let's see, I'm getting ahead of myself. What we're going to do here is prepare the front of the design on here before we attach it to the circle. So in your kit, or if you don't have a kit, what you're going to do is grab a strip of basic white paper, and I have this cut to just a little over 6 inches, and I think it's 1/2 inch. And we're going to use the "I'm Always Here for You" sentiment from the Flowering Cactus set. And I'm going to grab my G block, which is my favorite block for using, for stamping long sentiments like that. And I picked Gorgeous Grape for the color. You can use basic black if you'd like. There's no rules to it. And I have a little mini, this is just a little cushy stamp pad that I made out of 2 layers of fun foam and then a hard cardboard backing. But when you use that to stamp, especially with the clear stamps, it gives it some cushion, so you get a nice coverage. You get a nice print with it. So what we're going to do is put up our ink. We're going to stamp this up. And the placement's a little bit important here. So what I want to show you is put this like in the center of where your paper will be. So in other words, we want the sentiment, as much of it as you can read, to fall on the front of this box. So we position the center of our paper and we line up the sentiment here and we just eyeball it, and you stamp once in the center. Then once you have that anchor, you can continue to stamp on either side of it. Oops, that was a little crooked. It's hard to do when you're not got your head right over the top of it. There. So that's done. Then we're going to use a different punch, and we're going to punch out these components. And use the You're a Rare Friend. You're a Rare Find, my dear friend. And I used this stamp punch. It's from the Oval Occasions bundle. Love this. I've been using this a lot, especially for some reason around Easter. It just strikes me as a really great Easter punch. So I've already punched this out of the Highland Heather, and then I punched the plain circle or oval out of Basic White. So I'm going to stamp that with this other sentiment, You're a Rare Find. I'm going to clean off this guy so I can use my block again. Oops. And then I also use the Gorgeous Grape. So got that open. And you can do this a couple of different ways. I'm going to pull this closer so I can see where I'm stamping. So you can stamp your piece of paper, if you have the punch, you can stamp your piece of paper first, and then to make sure you have it centered, you can put your, let's see here, you can put your stamped image in and then center it and cut it out after you've stamped it, which is usually what I do. But because when I made these kits, I pre-punched everything for you. So you just got to eyeball it. Okay, so this is going to get glued down onto there, like so. Layered like that. Then this, set this up here for a second. The way this is going to come together is this center area right here is going to be the front of your pouch. And this is going to go like that. And then you're going to put this little adornment there. Then we're going to wrap it around the base to become the actual pouch. So you're going to want to make sure, there's two ways you can do this. You can hear everything down super flat, like stick it down completely flat. Or you can just adhere down the center of this piece. Well, this one you're going to want to make sure it's stuck good, completely down flat. And then you can put this one on afterwards. If you just put adhesive down the center, your ends will flip up a little bit, like this guy right here. See, they flip up a little bit. They're not glued flat, where this one is glued flat down. So we're going to glue it flat down. All right, so I'm going to put really strong coverage on this guy. And put this down like that. So you want to make sure your sentiment is in the center like this. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing here. Make sure you get really good coverage all the way to the ends. And we're going to put this right about there. Press that down good. And then if you wanted to glue this one flat, you could put it on right now, but I'm going to actually pop it up with a little dimensional. So we'll do that in a second. So now we're ready to put this together. And so you're going to want to trim off this edge a little bit. Trim off that edge a little bit. And lay your circle down just like so. And take the center top facing, so your adhesive is facing up. Take the center of this and line it up to this first tab and lay it down. Okay? Now that's sealed. Now what you're going to do is turn it and flip this in and work this around just like that, pressing really hard as you go. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing, work this around. This is going to become the back. Press that nice and good. You can use your bone folder to get in there. And there's a little bit of trimming. I like to save the trimming to the end just to make sure, because what's going to happen, oh, maybe I did trim this. No, I do have to trim it. So what's going to happen is you're going to bring this around, and then this is going to be quite a bit extra. So I'm going to just, you can do this in advance too. I'm just going to eyeball it and take about that much off. So about a ½ inch off. Okay. Then I'm going to come back in with my tape runner, Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put a nice line there. This is going to close up your box. And a nice reinforcement line there. Okay? So continue wrapping this around like so. Press that in good. And then the last corner right there. Line that up. Whoops. Well, I might have cut a little bit too much off. Line that up. And press. And give that a good seal. So these have flipped out a little bit, and you can do a couple of different things. You can use your bone folder and give them a little curl so that they're naturally curling that way. I'm kind of doing that now after the fact. Or if you don't mind them flipping out a little bit. I don't actually mind them flipping out a little bit. So there's that, and so when you close it, it'll be nice and flat. So next, we're going to put on this little embellishment, and I'm going to use a little bit of glue on the base, and then I'm going to use a dimensional. These are the minis. And I'm just going to put a couple right in the center. Then grab this and stick it down. And so it's popped up a little bit. This edge is kind of flipping out. Looks cute. So then the next thing we'll do is add some twine. And I picked the Calypso Coral twine, and I basically am going to do a double bow. So I'm going to take probably what, just to give you an idea, about 10 inches. And then I'm going to take another 10 inches. And cut that. Like so. Then I'm just going to take them both together and tie a bow. I love this twine because it's so swooshy and it just lays really nicely. So I didn't center my bow very well, but that's okay. I'll trim the excess off. And you can pull your bow to each end to a little bit different lengths so that it lays kind of like that. And I'm going to trim off. Well, I just love how they curl. Trim off. And so this is going to get placed right there with a glue dot. If you don't have a glue dot, you can use just regular glue, but you'll have to, you know, just give it a second to dry. So I'm just going to take this, put this glue dot right on the back of that. Pick it up. There. Then the last thing you could do is, these are included in your little kit, but if you have the Stampin' Up pins, you can use those. I just like these because they're white and they look a little country and cute. And there you have it. Really sweet little gift box. Okay guys, I'm going to clean up my mess and I'm going to move on to my next video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're interested in any of the products I used in making this video, please check out the links below. And I will try to give you links to everything that I can, and you can get to my online store with the links below as well. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy crafting. I'll see you next time. Bye.